Now, hear me. In 2024, I want you to challenge yourself that you're going to do the work that it takes to bring about change in your life. Now, here's what I've noticed. We're very good at thinking. We're very good at dreaming. We're very good at desiring things and wanting good things, good monies in our bank accounts, good relationships, good family, good characters, good personality, good everything good. We're very good at doing that. But when it comes to doing the work that is supposed to bring these things into our lives, sometimes some of us don't even know that personal reality, which is the things that we want in our lives that we don't have yet, that we are supposed to create it with our personality. When it comes to doing the things that we're supposed to do to get those things into our lives, we begin to give excuses, we begin to shy away, we begin to get uncomfortable, a lot of discomfort sets in, and we begin to postpone, we begin to say, no, I can't start it now, I have to start it tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, you said, no, I have to start it tomorrow again. There's always going to be an excuse. And that is something that we all do. But you can give yourself a challenge. Now, before I talk about the challenge, let me explain to us why we're always doing that, because it's a good question. Why do we always do that? Why is it that every time I want to work on myself or I want to change a habit, I'm going to always give an excuse and say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next month? Why are we always doing that? It's very simple. There's a mind in our bodies called the subconscious mind. This mind likes to hold on to familiar things. It doesn't want to go to unfamiliar territories. In fact, it fears the unknown. Anything that it doesn't know, it doesn't understand, it's not been doing before, it doesn't want to go there. And that's the subconscious mind. And your body is the subconscious mind, because all those memories, all those emotions, all those actions, all those habits, they are stored in your body. And that's the reason why you don't know how many times you're blinking your eyes. It's a mind, it has a mind of its own now, because it's been doing it for God knows how many years. For example, I play the piano. I don't need a light to play the piano. I can play the piano in a dark place. I can close my eyes. I know where the keys are. It's not because I'm a genie. It's because I've been doing it for so many years. I've been practicing it. It's part of me now. It's part of who I am now. The same goes with bad habits. The same goes with personalities. If you've been practicing being a certain way for so long, it's going to be with you until you start to practice being a different way. So this is the reason why we're holding on to things. Now, every time you make a decision to make a different choice than the choices you've been making before, get ready. It's going to be very uncomfortable. You're going to start asking yourself, am I doing the right thing? This doesn't feel right. This is not right. And your brain, of course, is going to give you confirmation by showing you so many other people who are doing things different, telling you that you're on the wrong path. Do you know why? It's because your body has been doing that and it doesn't want to go to something new. And we've been giving ourselves these excuses, and that's why we always say, okay, I understand, I'll start it tomorrow. There are so many things you said you were going to do last year that you said, no, I must start it January. I must start it January 2024. 1st January 2024. I must start it. So many people watching me now are about to change that decision to start it next month. If you're one of those, I perfectly understand. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel bad. We all are like that. It takes a lot of discipline to wake up and stamp our feet and say, enough is enough. This is going to stop. This ends now. I'm going to start a new life. Why not do that? Why not be that person? Why not be that person? Why not change the status quo and get into a new lifestyle, a new level, and begin to objectify your subjective self? Your subjective self being who you've always been. But your objective self is the person in your mind that have not yet manifested because you haven't done the work. So like I was saying before, this is the biggest problem with change. We love to dream about good things. We love good things. We secretly desire, admire, waiting for something beautiful to happen one day, to just fall out of the sky and surprise us. And that does happen too. But then it doesn't come without a cost. We have to work for it. And I'm not talking about maybe if you're looking for a relationship, then you start filling out all the dating sites. If you're looking for a job, you start, how many sites are you going to fill in, by the way? How many applications are you going to write for a job, by the way? Do you even know the right company for you? Are you going to settle for anything? I'm talking about working on yourself. There is an innate power within us that can get us what we want exactly the way we wanted it. This power is connected to everything, and it's everywhere. It knows everything. It knows everything you're looking for. It knows exactly the kind of relationship you want. It knows exactly the kind of life that you want to live. Isn't that powerful? It's a divine intelligence that is always residing in us, in everything, in everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's everywhere at the same time. It's in you right now, and it's connected to everything around you. Now, I know at this point, some of you might want to back up and say, whoa, hold on a second. What's this intelligence this guy's talking about? Is this some kind of woo-woo stuff or something of that nature? What's this intelligence all about? Okay, so I'm going to need a brand new video to explain what this infinite intelligence is all about. But I'm just going to give you a clue though. The intelligence I'm talking about is keeping your heart beating right now. That is regulating your blood sugar. That is digesting your food. That is causing the systems of your body to be coherent. That is pumping all of the blood in your system, causing your heart to beat about 100,000 times in one day. The research shows that the human heart beats about 60 to 100 times per minute. Now that can vary, of course, depending on age and other circumstances. So if you do the math, that translates to about over 100,000 times in one day. Now that's a lot of beating, and you're not doing that. Now, thank goodness there is an intelligence that is keeping you alive, because from the way we get tired about things, no one is able to keep up for about 100,000 times just beating something consistently to keep you alive. Only that intelligence can do that. This is happening on a minute, on a moment to moment basis. Of course, you're not causing your digestive system to always digest your food, are we? Some of us don't even know the first thing about digestion, that food has to be broken down through different levels of energy before it goes to the final stages, before it moves and becomes waste. Some of us, our own is just to eat. Some of us, the part we play is just to eat and keep eating food. Now, thank goodness we're not even responsible for those things, because I'm sure we're going to do a bad job if we have to digest our own food by ourselves. Now, this is part of the subconscious intelligence. Subconscious, because you're not doing it consciously. It is below the consciousness of every human being. But this thing is happening. I mean, you have about 60 to 70 trillion cells in your body, and about millions of cells are being replenished in your body every second. Are you doing that? There is an intelligence doing that for you. So it is at work in you on a moment-to-moment basis. So this is at work in you every single moment. Now, what about around you? Now, if you and I, as intelligent as we are, cannot digest our food, well, it's very less likely that animals will be able to digest their foods too. And guess what? They're not doing it. But they have a digestive system too. They have hearts. They have body systems too. And all these things are happening. That means the same intelligence is happening in animals, in reptiles. It's going on with ants. How do ants know when to save and when to come out and when to go in search for food? Even in the book of Proverbs, Solomon said, learn from the ants because they know when to save. How do they learn that? How did they know that? So guys, there's an intelligence at work in you and all around you. What about the flowers? The flower is not blooming by itself. There is an intelligence causing everything that is being sown in the ground to sprout and begin to grow and bear fruit. There's an intelligence there. What about the galaxies? Of course, galaxies are not just erupting into space on their own, do they? No. Planets and galaxies are not just popping up into space on their own. There is an intelligence that is at work in us and around us. Now that is the intelligence that I'm talking about. It's in you and all around you. It's in us and all around us. It's in everything, everywhere, at the same time, working with the same force, with the same wisdom, with the same powerful supernatural intelligence at the same time. That is the intelligence I'm talking about. So if it's everywhere at the same time, that means it has to know all things. If it knows all things, then it knows what you want. It knows your desires. It knows everything you want to the minutest detail of it. So that's very powerful. It's a powerful information. Now, every time I talk about this, I usually get goosebumps because it makes me realize that I'm not alone, right? And you are not either. Another question is, why are we not getting what we want? Because we're not aware that this intelligence is always matching who we are. It's always paying attention to who we are being. It's always paying attention to who we are being and creating experiences in our outer world that match who we are being. That is what it does. So awareness now and consciousness, being aware, starting to return this attention to this intelligence by paying attention to it, since it's paying attention to us. When we start to pay attention to it, and how are we doing that? Is to start to pay attention to us too. And that is called metacognition in neuroscience, when we start to pay attention to the kinds of thoughts we're thinking. If these thoughts and feelings and emotions, which is our state of being, is the basis for the things we attract in our lives, then we have to start paying attention to us too, so that we catch ourselves whenever we're making mistakes and thinking the kinds of things that we're not supposed to be thinking. Now we're beginning to become deliberate creators. We're behaving like this intelligence, because what it does is to pay attention and create for us what matches us. Now we become co-creators with it. So whatever you're looking at or looking for in the world is connected to it. Now this is a very powerful statement. And by looking at and looking for, I mean looking at the world that have already manifested for you. That is your present life, the way it is, or the life that you want, the one you're looking for that hasn't manifested, but that's the one you want. Whether it's this life or the one that you want to live is already connected to this intelligence. And this intelligence is in you right now, is in you right now as I speak to you. But it will not manifest if you do not change the way you're living right now, because it's the way you're living right now that authorizes this intelligence to be able to create the life that you want. In other words, by being who you are right now, I'm talking about thinking the way you're thinking right now, or you've been thinking before now, and feeling the kind of feelings you've been feeling before now, and acting and behaving the way you're behaving now. You've been able to create this experience you have now. Because this intelligence, it is otherwise called the law of resonance. It's matching experiences with who you are being. In other words, the experiences you're having in your life right now is an exact match to your state of being, to your thoughts, your behaviors, and your feelings and emotions, right? So nothing will change in your life until you change. That's it. The world out there is the mirror of who we are. Our outside world is a reflection of our inner world. If you have not changed inward, nothing in your life is going to change. If we don't change who we are on the inside, nothing on the outside is going to change. But the minute we begin to make different choices and begin to behave in a different way, then we're going to attract the equivalent of that behavior that creates a different experience for us. That is change. Just do it like an experiment. Just try to do something different in one day. If you used to behave in some way, just behave in a different way. You're going to have a different experience. You're going to attract experiences that are commensurate to that action. And that experience is going to cause you to feel differently. Oh, this feels different. If you can do it once, you can do it again. If you can do it again, you can do it yet again. That is how you begin to build a personality trait that will begin to now create permanent circumstances in your life. And that is how your life can change. So challenge yourself this year that this is that year that I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to work on myself. Yes, I know that it's going to be difficult. Again, don't expect it to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Some days you're just going to wake up and say, oh no, I'm not doing this. What kind of nonsense is this? You're going to get pissed at yourself. You're going to get mad at yourself. You're going to just get angry. How long do I continue doing this? Yes, your body is going to rebel. But most times when your body starts to rebel like that and you start to get angry and think, what is all this? Most times that is when the new self is about to emerge. But sometimes we're too impatient to continue, because that moment when you just needed to hold on a little longer, you give up and go back to square one. So this is a journey. I'm not one of those that come out here and tell you that change is easy. Don't just do this at the snap of your finger. It doesn't work that way. But that's not how the body changes. It took you time to become who you are. Everything you have in your life today has been created by your subconscious mind, and it's still creating it. And that's why it wants to hold on to it, because that's the only life it knows how to live. But if you want things to change, that means you have to change that mind. You have to change that inner self, which is you. The minute you change, I promise you that things will begin to change before your very eyes. You will just begin to notice that certain things are happening because you know yourself. Certain things are happening that never used to happen before. You're meeting the kinds of people that you never ever met before. People are treating you in a different way. You will know that something has changed because you know how it used to be before. When something changes, you must know. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if this video helped you, help me share it to someone else who is going to help too, because this is a year that we're going to work hard on ourselves to expect to reap the fruits in our world. Remember, if you have not changed first, nothing out there is going to change. But once you change first, just forget about the outside world. You are going to watch with your eyes and see how things begin to turn out miraculously for you. Not really a miracle, it's just a normal life for someone who is like you because you have changed. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and have a great day and year ahead. Take care.